Did Iran bring the United States to its knees? A $400 million bombshell has finally come to light. Is Iran's $400 million message to Trump the reason the US is now rebuilding its strategic base in Bahrain? Did Iran's missile campaign force Washington to rethink its entire military footprint across the Middle East? Iran's missile and drone barrage on the Bahrain base has now triggered a massive US reconstruction effort. Bahrain today, Israel tomorrow? Is the Pentagon quietly preparing a new blueprint for future regional wars? Fresh revelations have emerged on what may have ultimately forced the United States to reconsider its military campaign against Iran. A Wall Street Journal investigation claimed that extensive damage to American military assets across the Middle East prompted Washington to rethink its strategy. Iran's retaliatory strikes are reportedly burning an increasingly large hole in the Pentagon's military budget. Back in May, the Pentagon estimated the total cost of the conflict with Iran at approximately $29 billion. However, according to the Wall Street Journal, that estimate did not include the damage inflicted on American military bases. A June 23 report by CISS estimated that the overall cost of the US campaign against Iran could eventually reach a staggering $40 billion. Rebuilding damaged military facilities across the Gulf could reportedly add another estimated $400 million to the overall bill. How US is plotting a revamp. Bahrain. Base upgrades are reportedly under active consideration following recent damage. Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. The United States is reportedly weighing a reduction in its military footprint. Base relocation. Some operational functions could be shifted farther west for greater protection. Infrastructure changes. Several damaged facilities may reportedly never be rebuilt in their current locations. Command centers, key command and control hubs could eventually be relocated underground. New strategy. The Pentagon is reportedly planning to disperse military assets across the wider region. Possible future hub. Israel is reportedly among the locations being considered for expanded military functions. Meanwhile, a separate investigative report has revealed secret documents and photographs allegedly detailing Israel's trade links with several Gulf nations. The report states that advanced Israeli defense systems have been supplied to Qatar and Saudi Arabia, according to findings published by Haaretz. The reported agreements allegedly include missile defense systems, advanced night vision equipment, and other military technologies designed for modern combat operations. Qatar does not have formal diplomatic relations with Israel, but the two countries have maintained complex security and political connections through various channels. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has previously described Qatar as a complicated country, reflecting the challenges surrounding its regional role and relationships. Remember, Netanyahu also supported measures targeting Qatar and ordered strikes aimed at Hamas figures in Doha, further highlighting the tensions involved in the relationship. Despite the differences, Qatar's Royal Aircraft reportedly use Israeli-made missile defense technology designed to protect high-value jets during flights. The Elbit Systems Sea Music defense system has been installed on Qatari aircraft to provide protection against potential missile threats. The Sea Music system works by detecting incoming heat-seeking missiles and using countermeasures to disrupt their targeting systems. Reports indicate that Israel approved defense agreements with Qatar worth more than $100 million, involving advanced military equipment and technology. Israeli defense companies have also been involved in supplying components and systems connected to Qatar's F-15QA fighter aircraft. The major Boeing F-15QA fighter jet program included subcontracting arrangements with Israeli defense firms for specific technologies. Companies including Elbit and other partners contributed advanced systems that were integrated into Qatar's F-15 aircraft. The equipment package reportedly included JHMCS helmet-mounted systems, which provide pilots with advanced visor-based targeting displays. Israeli defense companies have also supplied night vision technology designed to improve the combat capabilities of Qatar's fighter aircraft. Saudi Arabia has also reportedly received Israeli-linked military equipment indirectly through defense agreements involving the United States and international suppliers. The Saudi F-15SA fighter program included hundreds of JHMCS helmet systems and advanced night vision goggles designed to improve pilot performance. Images cited in reports have shown Saudi pilots using systems connected to Israeli defense technology, according to a Haaretz investigation. These reported defense links have continued despite Qatar and Saudi Arabia not maintaining formal diplomatic relations with Israel. Unlike the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Morocco, the two Gulf nations have not officially joined the Abraham Accords with Israel. The reported deals highlight how security cooperation can continue through indirect channels even without public diplomatic partnerships or formal alliances. Iran has called for a new Gulf security order that excludes the United States and all other outside military powers from the region. Iranian Foreign Minister said Tehran is ready to help establish a new regional security framework led by countries within the Gulf. Araghchi said recent wars had demonstrated it was time for Gulf nations to take responsibility for safeguarding their own security. Araghchi made the remarks after holding talks with Iraq's national security advisor, according to Iran International. The foreign minister said the proposed regional framework should also promote broader economic cooperation among neighboring countries. Araghchi argued that lasting regional stability could only be achieved through closer coordination and cooperation among Gulf states. He said military powers from outside the region should have no role in shaping the proposed future Gulf security architecture. Tehran presented the proposal as a lesson drawn from the region's recent security crises and repeated military confrontations. IRGC-affiliated FARS said a commentary discussing nuclear weapons did not represent the agency's official editorial position or policy. The agency said the article appeared in its user-generated content section and should not be interpreted as an official FARS position. The clarification came after the commentary claimed Iran had no alternative but to obtain a nuclear weapon for deterrence. The article argued nuclear deterrence was the only effective way to eliminate the military option against Iran. The commentary also claimed a nuclear weapon could help keep any future conflict with the US and Israel under control. The article surfaced as the United States and Iran continued exchanging military strikes amid tensions over the Strait of Hormuz. Subsequently, the Wall Street Journal reported US-Iran talks in Switzerland had stalled as hostilities between both sides intensified. However, Reuters reported the United States and Iran would continue negotiations as both sides sought to preserve the interim memorandum of understanding. A US official told Reuters the technical discussions would address every major provision contained in the interim memorandum of understanding. The official said commercial shipping would continue moving freely through the Strait of Hormuz while negotiations remained underway. Axios, citing US officials, also reported Washington and Tehran had agreed to halt hostilities while diplomatic efforts continued. The report said both sides were expected to meet in Doha later this week to address their dispute over the Strait of Hormuz. The diplomatic push came after an Iranian official said the planned June 28 talks had been abandoned following recent US strikes. Tehran said the conditions outlined in the interim memorandum of understanding had not been fully implemented before any fresh negotiations.
Well, the president's patience isn't going to last forever. Discussions are ongoing, particularly at a technical level of how to get inspectors in, the downblending, and the other pieces that are focused on ensuring Iran never has a nuclear weapon. But they need to understand their leverage is diminishing by the day. The Gulf Arabs are creating all kinds of alternatives to the Straits of Hormuz. The UAE is moving oil through its pipeline that it's expanding. The Saudi Arabia is moving oil through its pipeline that it's expanding. We will create alternatives to our basing posture there. We will harden some may go underground, others will move. So this leverage that Iran thinks it has now is diminishing faster and faster, literally every week as we speak. And meanwhile, that this is in violation of international law. Even the Chinese government has said you cannot be taking tolls or fees. Iran was apparently relying on Oman across the waterway to help it set up this new infrastructure. And now Oman just yesterday has rejected the idea of tolls or fees. So they're completely isolated here. President Trump's not going to stand for it. And meanwhile, we continue to move ships out by the dozens every day. And world oil prices are not just stable, they're dropping. So Iran's attempt to hold the world hostage and their economies hostage are completely failing. So Iran, as Secretary Rubio just said, Iran has a choice to make. It's going to be a responsible nation, or it can continue down this path to absolute ruin. And don't think for a second that President Trump isn't going to leave every option on the table to achieve not just our aim, the entire world's aim, that Iran never has a nuke.